My name is MC Bravado. I am a rapper and an educator from Baltimore, Maryland, by way of New York.
Let the shells do the talking like it's Lord of the Flies. I'm the Voldemort of Baltimore, I'm sorcerer-like. Walking the scythe, orbs align orbit the mic. Metaphors from the cauldron on a stormiest night. Sacrifice a corny rapper for the oracle sight. I'm the phone call for Morpheus that offers you life.
Teaching and rapping and trying to juggle the two is pretty insane, because I always crack up when people are like, oh, teachers have the best schedule. Like, yeah, like 8 to 3:30. Total bullshit, because we have to grade, we have to plan. You know, it's at least like a 50-hour a week commitment, and it's very rigid because I have to be in the school. I can't leave to do shows. You know, it's difficult, and the administration, particularly inner city, they lean on you. We don't have as much support as far as substitutes and things like that go, so you have to be present. So I feel like my career has kind of gotten to a point now where it's going to be difficult to stay in the classroom Monday through Friday. So it's evolving. You know, I'm still going to be teaching, but more in a tutoring capacity, after school music initiatives. I have my scholarship program, all my shows locally kind of pour into that. So I still want to be very much involved in education, but I feel like to get to the next level with music, it has to be in a new capacity that lets me be a little more autonomous. So if I have to pick up to go to a show or a festival, I can do that, and there aren't kids that are relying on me that are missing out on a good education because I'm trying to do too much. So it's a really difficult decision. It's not necessarily permanent, but for at least the next year, I'm gonna try to do music full time, and like I said, freelance tutor, you know, marry the two worlds of teaching and hip hop, because it's really no different than teaching poetry. There's programs in the city that teach engineering and production. They need people to come in and kind of spearhead the songwriting curriculum, and I feel qualified to do that. So it's not goodbye, it's kind of like see you later, and in a different capacity than I've been involved in teaching for the last 7 years or so. All my students know that I'm a rapper now. The cat has been out of the bag in a big way since a couple of years ago. There was like a news story. They came to my school and they got me teaching and doing this song project that I do at the end of every year with the kids where we analyze song lyrics. And they dig it. Once they really find the parallels between what we do in English class and music, and they can really add value to that and understand that there is value in like learning the mechanics and how to construct and how to really write, and how it can be conducive to doing something cool like making music, then they see that it's worthwhile and you're not just the teacher and something foreign to them anymore. You're kind of coming into their world and meeting them in the middle. So it's really remarkable, and I think it's my path. Like, I think all of these things were supposed to happen, and that I could have a more meaningful effect long term on these kids as both an educator and a musician, as opposed to one or the other. I started rapping, freestyling at parties, and again, it was just something that people gravitated towards and you know, made me look cool. And then people told me I should take music more seriously because I was good at the freestyle element. I started writing songs, and then the therapeutic side of it really began to resonate with me. And instead of lashing out, I started recording and writing, and it kept my emotions, you know, in check. And I've been fortunate to have that outlet, you know, for 16 years now. So basically, to me, like, a lot of rap artists give off that aura, that tough guy bravado, and it makes them, you know, harder to, in the eyes of the public, you know, like harder to approach or hurt, you know, in a negative way. There's that like street aura to them. And that's not really who I am internally, but as I said, I felt like it helped me build up a certain level of clout to where it kept me from getting bullied, and kept me out of harm's way because people knew what I was capable of when creating a song. You know, I'm most articulate when I'm writing music, not so much in conversation or writing in general, but writing songs is what I'm good at. So I feel like that bravado, you know, made up for some of the popularity that I was lacking in other ways, and, you know, taking it going forward. I got involved in Warped Tour because Timmy and I from Cool Suppliers were connecting on a musical level for a while, and I feel like he kept in touch with some of the philanthropic things I did in the community outside of music, messed with the music, and thought I had the work ethic to get out here and do it. So here we are. The Transform stage has been incredible. Honestly, going in, I was a little skeptical because I was like, if this is like an all indie situation, like are some of these artists going to be lukewarm? But everybody's really great, and it's very eclectic too, sound-wise, and everybody's super supportive. You can have an act that's more like hardcore, or somebody that's super melodic and acoustic-y, or you could have somebody like me who's kind of like prides himself on being a rapper's rapper, but everybody supports each other. And even when we don't have the biggest crowd some days, you know, your biggest supporters might be people that have been playing Transform the whole time. So I feel lucky to have been a part of it, especially on this last Warped Tour. I think if you don't do it, like if you don't do the full tour, I don't think you understand how DIY it is. Nobody like holds your hand through anything, and you really have to like make your own luck and get out there and meet people, make your performance what it is. You know, like the DJ who runs my set most of the time, like I met him at Warped Tour. I've had musicians jump in during my set that I met at Warped Tour. Going in, it was just me, my phone, and the tracks I had to play, and it's evolved since then. So I feel like the biggest thing to know is don't expect any handouts and be ready to work every day, and you know, network as best you can to make your product work, because otherwise you're gonna, you know, taper off. I want to do a European tour after Warped Tour. I want to continue to promote my new album, Like Water for Hangovers. Got a new video coming out for that, for a song called Same Old Song. And yeah, I would expect 3 or 4 new visuals off of that, and a European tour coming up either late fall or for the winter. And then hopefully another US tour as immediate support for you know, another MC out there who might be a little higher up the ladder than me. Please check out Like Water for Hangovers wherever you stream or download music, courtesy of Soul Spasm.